Europe is a common destination for people wishing to relocate overseas. There are 50 countries in Europe total, 28 of which are members of the EU. Travelers, foreign nationals, and permanent residents all frequently associate Europe with expensive living expenses, especially in Western Europe, the Nordic region, and Eurozone nations. But this isn't always the case. Many European nations are reasonably priced, especially when compared to the US, even though some are rather pricey. In today's video, we will talk about the 7 cheapest countries to live in Europe under 1,000 euros Part 3. So make sure to watch the video till the end. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Number 7. Georgia. The most reasonably priced place to live in Europe for digital nomads or anyone looking to start a business comes in at number 7. Not Thailand, Indonesia, or Mexico, but Georgia, which has a lot to offer visitors. Georgia is actually a fairly affordable country in Europe, offering fantastic food, affordable lodging, stunning mountains, rejuvenating beaches, cheap flights to Europe, no need for a visa. You may visit and live there year-round, and numerous chances to start enterprises and pay minimal taxes. It also boasts hundreds of trendy pubs, vineyards, lovely architecture, picturesque drives, stunning separate seasons, and generally intriguing things to do. If you desire a hustle-free living and are just starting off working remotely, consider setting up shop in Batumi or Kutaisi. You'll be able to work there more slowly, establish a routine, and stop worrying about your visa or legal position in the nation. Although Tbilisi is the costliest city in Georgia, it is also one of the least expensive places to live in Europe. There is a sizable and still expanding expat community, good Wi-Fi, and the freedom to stay as long as you desire if you like the nation. Living there, as in all of Georgia, has advantages, but there are drawbacks as well. Finding an affordable apartment in Tbilisi is not too difficult, especially if you search on Airbnb. Low price refers to a lavish one-bedroom apartment in a secure neighborhood that costs between 350 euros and 400 euros a month. However, there are a ton of other, less expensive choices. Even now, when we reminisce with Mark about our years spent living off the grid, we both believe that Georgia offers the greatest selection of affordable flats. For a few hundred euros a month, you can genuinely purchase everything you need, including some unusual gadgets and culinary supplies. Number 6. Serbia. If you want to travel around the Balkans, this is another of the greatest affordable places to live in Europe. There is one thing to be aware of, though. Many individuals mistakenly believe that all of the former Yugoslavia's republics are equally desirable places to immigrate after looking at a map showing the region. The Balkan countries are perceived as being similar due to their comparable cultures, low prices, mild environment, and cuisine, when in fact they differ greatly from one another. While some nations have recovered from the 1990s crisis and moved on, others have not been as lucky and have lagged behind. The standard of comfort and safety varies in these less fortunate nations. Among those nations is Serbia. It is growing economically at the slowest rate, along with Croatia, its neighbor. However, it is also less safe than Croatia. Serbia was one of the wealthiest countries in the Union prior to the dissolution of Yugoslavia. Belgrade was able to continue holding the position of political leadership on the international arena throughout the first part of the 2000s following the war. It was not a very good economy though. Serbia now has worse living standards than Slovenia, Croatia, and Montenegro. Serbia's clean environment and serene way of life, however, continue to make it stunning in its own unique manner. You can live a fairly good life in Serbia if you don't intend to relocate there to work for a local business and you have income from outside the nation. It will also be less expensive than in the previously listed Albania or Montenegro. Belgrade is a cheap European capital, but it's far more economical to live in Novi Sad, Pančevo, or Subotica. In contrast, the monthly rental cost of a one-room apartment in the heart of Novi Sad, the second largest and most significant city, is between 200 euros and 250 euros. The same apartment in Belgrade will cost twice as much. The cost of housing in Slovenia and Croatia increased dramatically about 10 years ago. This did not occur in Serbia, contributing to the nation's real estate prices being the lowest in the Balkans. Number 5. Bosnia and Herzegovina. All of the post-Yugoslavian states are inexpensive locations to reside in Europe by European standards. Bosnia is not an anomaly. Bosnia has certain geopolitical and economic issues as a result of the republic's division, but overall conditions there are peaceful and stable. And this nation is still incredibly affordable. On the one hand, not understanding the language will make it harder to get a work in local businesses. However, the cost of groceries and housing makes it a viable choice for remote or freelance workers. The most popular tourists to Bosnia and Herzegovina are hikers and skiers. However, the nation also enjoys access to the Adriatic Sea, which offers top-notch beaches. You could always visit nearby Montenegro or Croatia, but I'm sure Bosnia will keep you occupied as well. Numerous monuments from antiquity, the Middle Ages, the Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian periods have been conserved in the nation. You may be sure you won't be bored there because there are so many historic towns, a wide selection of cuisine and activities available. We were shocked to discover that there were a lot of lovely flats available for rent on Airbnb in Bosnia for between €350 and €400 a month. Even the city, Sarajevo, offered a large selection of affordable apartments. Sarajevo was presumably the least expensive capital city in Europe. Instead of Sarajevo, you might wish to consider Mostar for remote employment. Furthermore, the prices are not the cause. The small city of Mostar boasts a picturesque scenery and a leisurely lifestyle. It's also pretty near the ocean. Number 4. Albania. Numerous sites claim that Albania is also one of the most affordable places in Europe to live. While residents are unlikely to agree, it has the lowest cost of living in Europe for visitors. If foreigners are looking to settle in southern Europe, Albania is an excellent low-cost option compared to Italy or Greece. The close relationship between the progenitors of the contemporary Albanians and the civilizations of Greece and Rome, as well as the Ottoman, Austro-Hungarian, and Roman empires, is responsible for the historic architecture and rich cultural heritage. Thus, you can be certain that you'll always have access to a wide range of reasonably priced activities that will transport you to Italy, Turkey, or Greece. There are a ton of things to do and historical sites and attractions in Albania. In addition, the country's north is home to breathtaking mountains and a number of gorgeous beaches along the Adriatic and Ionian Seas. Albania has a liberal visa policy, which is one of the reasons I think it's one of the greatest places in Europe to relocate. Albania is visa-free for 365 days of the year for citizens of the United States, the European Union, and many other nations. Bonus: Albania is a good option if you're a remote worker or digital nomad looking for an affordable place to reside in Europe. It's incredible that it's as good as adjacent Greece and just as affordable, plus you can stay there for at least a year. And since you know you have a house in Albania to return to, you can always take a plane to any other nation in Europe if you so choose. Similar to Montenegro, Albania is reliant on travel and the seasons. Accommodation costs in coastal cities are very high, average €60 to €70 per night, from May to October. Anyone on a limited budget should use Facebook groups or agencies to find an apartment. Try searching for apartments in Himare, Dermi, Vlori, and the outskirts of Saranda for the best bargain. Due to its location away from the sea, Tirana, the capital of Albania, is also less expensive. Number 3. Montenegro. Another affordable place to live in Europe that I adore. You will also adore it if you love the outdoors. For retirees and digital nomads, especially those who love being outside, Montenegro is among the most economical countries to live in Europe. It boasts 5 national parks with hundreds of breathtaking treks, lakes, canyons, rivers, gorgeous walking trails, secret beaches, and even fjords. It also has an exceptionally beautiful coastline. With millions of visitors annually, it is today one of Europe's most sought-after low-cost summer destinations. Many fly to Montenegro to spend the winter there from Eastern Europe to avoid the cold. Flying time from southern Germany, Switzerland or Italy is only 2 to 3 hours, and from the UK it is 3 to 4 hours. Despite not being a member of the EU, Montenegro utilizes the euro. When all of this is taken into account, along with its prime position and breathtaking scenery, Montenegro is still reasonably priced. Despite not being a member of the EU, the level of living is rather high. Long-term residents of Montenegro can rent homes for between €300 and €350 a month in places like Ulcinj, Bar, Sutomor and Budva. Just keep in mind that these cities are farther from the coast. You must rent an apartment through a broker beginning a leasing period in the fall in order to guarantee this price. Number 2. Turkey. Turkey ranks among the most affordable places to live in Europe. Naturally, because it is so amazing and inexpensive, and I won't be the only one to tell you that. This location offers both an affordable cost of living and an excellent standard of living. After visiting Turkey once, people always go back again. A lot of people, particularly from Eastern Europe, Germany and the UK, who work remotely or plan to retire soon, buy properties in Turkey and establish themselves there. The majority's choice of this location is not by accident. The benefits of residing in Turkey are numerous. It's almost the ideal location because to the wonderful weather, reasonably priced food, friendly locals toward visitors, distinctive hot springs, gorgeous scenery, and of course, the warm, crystal-clear sea and breathtaking sunsets. There are already distinct neighborhoods where only foreigners reside in certain cities around the Mediterranean coast. They have their foreign churches, familiar-looking stores, English-speaking staff in their hospitals, etc. That is, there won't be any issues with adjustment. An additional benefit is the excellent quality of healthcare. It will be possible for retirees to apply for medical insurance and get all the help they need, even for complicated medical care. Younger individuals can also pay for medical services out of cash or with insurance. The costs are relatively affordable. Turkey has affordable real estate prices. However, homes are very comfortable and have high-quality construction. For between 40 and 45,000 euros, you may buy a cozy apartment with 1 or 2 bedrooms if you have the money. After then, when purchasing any real estate, a residency permit is granted. Buying real estate is not the sole prerequisite for obtaining residency in Turkey, which is really the easiest country in Europe to do so. Applying for a short-term, 1-year residency is dependent upon your monthly salary, must be at least 500 euros, and apartment lease. Your budget may vary depending on the precise location that you wish to live. In Turkey, there are several affordable cities, both inland and near the coast, where you can get long-term rentals for between 200 euros and 250 euros a month. But you should anticipate a more basic apartment for that amount. You should budget a minimum of 300 euros to 350 euros each month on food and entertainment. Number 1. Spain. It is easy to determine that Spain will be the least expensive option when compared to other Western European nations like France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Switzerland, and a portion of Italy. Thus, Spain and Portugal together really are the most affordable countries in Western Europe. However, you begin to get a completely different image when you compare it to the rest of Europe. Look up lodging costs and consider the fact that millions of tourists and students visit Spain every year. I recall a period when we could rent a stunning apartment in a seaside location in southern Spain for roughly 200 euros per month. However, those days are gone. Every year, Spain's real estate prices soar like mushrooms following a downpour, further increasing the cost of living in this nation. There is no denying that costs are lower here than, say, in France, Belgium, the Netherlands, and the United States for food, transportation, dining out, and utilities. However, their cost exceeds that of Poland, Slovakia, or Croatia. The cost of lodging has also increased. Upon seeing Barcelona, Valencia, or Madrid among the most affordable places in Europe to live in, while these cities are affordable when compared to Munich, Paris, and London, they are somewhat pricey overall. In Spain, as in many other low-cost European locations, it might be best to establish a base in a smaller town to save money. But only that little hamlet that isn't close to the ocean and isn't very well liked by travelers. This brings us to the end of this video. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing, so we can keep bringing more content like this. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.